Hello, everyone. This is Tom Fox back again for another episode of Diabetes, the Metabolic Bully. As always, joined by Dr. Byron Black and my colleague and friend, Andrew Gay. Dr. Black, welcome back.
Thank you. Glad to be back.
Dr. Black, we're recording this in late January, and it struck me that this time of year is, in many people's mind, a time of change. Now, that change can be the new year. I focus on the season of Lent, which is the 6 weeks leading up to Easter. And in the religious tradition I grew up with, we were taught to give up something during Lent. So some people may give up drink, some people may give up sweets. You're supposed to give up something that's meaningful to you, i.e., not broccoli, but you're supposed to give up something. And it just struck me that a good way to maybe ask you if there's some event like a new year or some event like Lent where people say, okay, I'm going to make a change. And they use that as a start
Right.
and really jumping off point to commit. They can work with someone like you on both the exercise and diet. How would you help someone who really wants to make a lifestyle change? They come to you and they say, it's a new year, it's a season of Lent, maybe it's a summer. I don't want to sit down and start a program, but I want to lay a foundation that we can continue this program after this season ends, whether the season is January 31st, whether it's Easter and Lent is over, but really they've just got in their mind, here's a starting date. I can do something. And they come to someone like you. How do you help them think through that?
The people that I'm used to dealing with are the New Year's resolution people. They come in and they want to lose weight and get healthy and start doing a workout program. And there's two mistakes they make, in my opinion. One, they come in expecting to start this program, and a common phrase that I hear a lot is, I'm going to make my body do this. And I just think to myself, you can't make your body do anything it doesn't want to do. You can go in and you can do the treadmill 7 days a week, but eventually your body's going to say, time out, that's too much for me. And so it winds up burning out on them. And so they try to do too much too quick. And I like to start them off, as I've said earlier, where they're at. If they're only able to walk for 10 minutes, then that's good enough for that moment. If they're only able to work out for 20 minutes, whatever it is, wherever they're at, that's where I like to start them and then slowly build them up from there. And the second thing I see a lot is people go in and they really don't know what their body needs as far as exercise. Some go in and all they do is weight training and expect to lose weight. They do very little cardio. And so they wind up going in and they keep doing all these strength training programs and they never lose weight. And you're not going to, because strength training builds muscle. Or just the opposite. They'll go in expecting to get stronger and leaner and feel better. And they do all this cardio and they don't ever do any strength training. And so they don't wind up building muscle like they think they should. And so I like to do a initial consultation with them, find out what their goals are. Then I do a very comprehensive health and fitness assessment on them that includes metabolic rate. I test their metabolic rate. I test their body composition. I do an aerobic test on them, and along with 2 strength tests. And then with that information and their goals, I can design a program that helps those 2 come together. We can, if their metabolic rate is anything but fast, though there's a graph on the printout that shows slow, normal, or fast. And if they're anywhere other than fast, then I know I need to work on some muscle mass, because muscle is one of the big determinants of your metabolic rate. And so I know I need to work on that area. I do the VO2 max test on them, which is a walk test. If that's anything below 30, then I know that their aerobic capacity or their aerobic fitness is not up where it needs to be. So I need to design an aerobic program to help them get that built up. And then from there, with the other tests, we can follow their program by retesting them in 2 to 3 months and just make sure we're on the right path. And then we can adjust fire as we need to make sure that their program is working and that they're on their trajectory for that goal.
You don't know this, but I play in a world of legal and regulatory compliance. And I'm going to translate what I heard you say into a little bit of my other world, which is you put a program in place, you train on it, you monitor that program, and you adjust based upon the results in monitoring. Would that be a fair assessment
That's perfect.
of what I just heard you say?
Yes.
How do you help someone? Because one of the things I have had some success with and I've also struggled with is not a short term fix, not a 1 month, not a 6 week, not a 3 month, but something that really involves a long term, either lifestyle change or commitment to exercise. Is that something that you actually counsel people on, or is that just innate that's inside all of us?
I think it's innate and inside everybody. A lot of people, we're so tuned into that magic pill or that magic program. And when they come see me, they expect some really serious results in a short period of time. And so, what I try to do is by doing the assessments and reassessments and showing them where they're at health and fitness wise, and then showing them where they need to be, we're able to stay in the program a little bit longer as they see themselves heading toward that goal. And typically, by the time 6 months is about how long I need to get you there. Your first few couple of months are just your initial stage. Then you go into an improvement stage. And then finally, you go into your maintenance stage. And I need at least 6 months to get you the results you're looking for.
Another thing I have struggled with is burnout. And some years I have what I think are great workout seasons, particularly in the summer. I get up very early and work out hard in the summer. And usually by late August, September, sometimes into October, I've just had enough. And I've worked up to what I think is a pretty good workout, an hour and a half, hard cardio. But how do you help someone who's maybe you see trending towards burnout? You give them different exercises. Do you move them maybe from a treadmill to the pool? Do you move them into weights? How do you help someone who you think may be trending towards that? Or is it just okay sometimes to take a couple of weeks off and start up? How do you deal with that issue?
That's a very good question because that happens a lot. And what I try to do with them is I change their programs. The first thing I ask them is, what do you like to do? If you don't like running, then I'm not going to put you on a running program. Most people like to do the treadmill, or they like to do, or just whatever they like to do is what I have them do, because then I'm more successful with. But once they start to get that burnout, like they get tired of doing the same workouts over and over, is when I start changing things up. There's 4 types of strength training goals. You got endurance, hypertrophy, strength, and power. And so I'll do what we call a kind of a periodization, where I'll work them in this goal for a little while until they start getting tired. And then I'll change from endurance to powerlifting and have them doing big movements. And then I have them do functional type training, performance training, where they're in the performance room doing lifting, pushing, pulling, squatting, bending, all kinds of other activities other than just sitting out there on the weight machine pushing the weight around. And that's usually where people have the most fun.
Do you feel like that helps with motivation? If so, how much? Keeping up their spirits, keeping
I
them
think it
motivated?
helps a lot because they never know what they're going to be doing when they come in. And there's 2 things that I have found over my 30 years of time in this field is people want to see results and they want it to be fun.
Mm.
And so if I can take you in that performance room and actually make you have fun in there, then going out to do the strength training, and literally by the time I get done with you in the sports performance room and take you out to do strength training, you want to go out there because I've worked you out so hard in the performance room. So you don't get bored in my programs.
Having fun and not getting bored and working
Yeah.
out,
Making it fun.
making
Yeah.
it.
That's part of, and I think it's important that you see that as part of your job,
Yes,
because we all will get burned out. We start a new program like that and we're trying to change. Change is hard.
very hard.
So that's a nice value add that you bring to the table.
Thank you.
Dr. Black, if our listeners wanted any more information on yourself or the Kerrville Fitness Clinic, or excuse me, Medical Fitness Clinic of Kerrville, what would be the best place or places for them to go?
They can go to Peak Fitness over on Bandera Highway, and that's where I sit at most of the day. I have business cards and trifolds there. So if I'm not there, you can pick one of those up, or you can call or text me at 210-569-4129. Unfortunately, my website is down for renovation right now, but it'll be up in the future.
Dr. Black, I wanted to thank you again for taking the time to visit with us, and I'm looking forward to continuing this conversation.
Thank you.